Well, hello, football fans, and welcome to this edition of the Billy Skinner Lamar Viking Football Coaches Show. I'm Bill Frawley. Today, coming from Southeast Florida, hence the palm trees and stuff. Not a fake background, it's the real thing. And with me, of course, as always, is head Viking football coach Billy Skinner. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I didn't know this before we got on the call, but now I'm really, really jealous of you. I'm looking at that background, and I want to be where you're at right now.
Get on the next plane and come on down. We're having a lot of fun. It's a family reunion type thing, and living it up in the beautiful outdoors. But I'll tell you, yesterday it was torrential rains. It was almost like a tropical storm was coming through. So we were inside most of the time, but again, today, beautiful day. So I thought I'd show off the great outdoors and the lush vegetation here just a little bit. So
it looks fantastic.
Okay. Well, Coach, I wasn't in town, but I did kind of see a little bit of this and that. It was a tough go on Friday night at Cravens Field against Martin. I'm somewhat of the eternal optimist. You've gotten to know me before this season and now, of course. But tell me a little bit about what are some of the positives that you, the other coaches, and the players draw out of that experience?
There were actually quite a few positive moments. Some of them were kind of overshadowed by the negatives and those kind of things. But, I was really, really pleased with some things on special teams. We went in knowing that they like to come after kicks. They like to come after punts. And so that took a lot of our time this week protecting and doing those things. And I think our kids did an outstanding job, and Coach Harris did an outstanding job of getting those kids ready to protect against a Martin rush where those guys, not only do they do a good job of going and getting kicks, but then they do a great job of going and getting the ball and scoring the football. So, with the exception of the onside kick that we gave up, it was special teams wise, very, very pleased with what those guys did. Offensively, we got some things going and then we would shoot ourselves in the foot. But, after playing that game, and we've played a lot of really good opponents this year.
Yes.
I've got to tip the cap over to Martin because they're absolutely the best team we've played this year. Just top to bottom, they do a phenomenal job. They run a great program over there. So hats off to them. But that one's it's in the past now, and we're moving on.
24-hour rule, correct?
That is correct.
I love it. Hey, speaking of playing top-notch teams, I'm going to do one more shameless kind of plug, not only for where I am right now, but I've got my A&M shirt on because my Aggies took care of some business last night at home against number one ranked Alabama. So I just had to do one little shameless plug because, it's once in a blue moon that we get to brag about knocking off number one Alabama. But
that was awesome. How about just football in general yesterday?
Oh,
you got that, and you got, my goodness, the UT
Notre
game,
Dame
or I should say the OU game.
There you go. Coming from behind.
Goodness. That was some good football yesterday.
It was like a bowl game Saturday, with all the top-ranked teams matched up and the way those quality games were.
Yep.
Exactly. But, hey, lest we get kind of too attention deficit disordered from our show today, I got a question. What's the overall condition, health of the team, just all around? How are the players doing? And
we're going into week 8 of the season. And so there's naturally going to be those bumps and bruises and those kind of things. But for the most part, everybody's in good shape. The health's good. Everybody's, with the exception of those couple bumps and bruises. We're in decent shape. We're
good.
We're okay.
Good. That's kind of what we're hoping to hear. And I'm glad you could sort of confirm that with everyone else, of course. Well, next up for the Vikings on Friday is the Grand Prairie Gophers, who are 3-0 in district play. And they're coming off of a 1-point victory, speaking of close games this weekend, against their crosstown rival, South Grand Prairie. Now, the Gophers are averaging like 3 times as many yards on the ground as in the air. I just looked up some stats a little while ago. And what's your general approach going to be to the Grand Prairie game?
The overall general approach is we want to score one more point than they do. So
I love it.
The approach, the goal. No, they do a great job on offense, defense, special teams. They've got a kid who plays quarterback that, he's a do-it-all. He's a kid that can run the ball. They'll be in 3rd and long, and he can pull it down and go get every bit of it. So, we want to try to bottle that kid up as best as we can. We want to make sure that we gang tackle and get as many people around the football. Offensively, again, they do a really good job job on defense. They've got a linebacker that just sees the game, feels the game. And so, you know, we want to make sure that we get bodies on bodies and get our cats the ball in the field. And so let our guys go and be them. So, you know, I say it in jest that we want to score one more point, but that's what we want to do.
A 1-point victory is still a W in the record book, right?
Absolutely.
Well, and that's what this quote unquote, as we've said it before, the second season of the season's about. These are the games that help determine if you make it to the playoffs, when you make it to the playoffs, what order you're in, everything. So yeah, take a 1-point win anytime, right?
That's for sure. That's for sure. And the other thing is, there is no letdown in our schedule top to bottom. So we know every game that we play is going to be a battle, and we know this week is no exception.
Definitely so. Well, so speaking of this week, now Jay Ryan, our producer, he's the PA announcer at home on Friday nights, and he's our producer for our team broadcast wherever we go, usually at home. But he has actually secured approval and credentials for us to broadcast the upcoming game. So we're looking forward to being in the booth at the Gopher Warrior Bowl on Friday night. Now, but that doesn't mean stay home and watch or listen. We still need to pack the stands with Viking fans. So everyone, please come out. Plan to be there, as it should be a great game, right, Coach?
Absolutely. We want to have as many butts in the seats as we can get. So come on out.
There you go. Well, Coach, would you please go through the Thursday night JV and freshman team schedule for us?
Yes, sir. So we have one freshman game here at Cravens on Thursday night at 5:30.
Okay.
And then we'll be playing over at Grand Prairie High School with our JV at 5:30 as well. Important to note that for the did I get that wrong? No, I did get that wrong. See, I should have studied it harder. Freshmen will be
Yes.
at Grand Prairie. So please,
right.
I hope you didn't just turn it off. Freshmen will be at Grand Prairie. Varsity will also be at Grand Prairie. JV will be here at 5:30 on Thursday.
Okay.
So as far as tickets go, Grand Prairie does online only. So I'll be sharing a link on our Sports U, and I know that I can pass that link on to Jay Ryan for our website, but we'll have to do online tickets through the Grand Prairie ticket site.
Excellent. Okay. So just to recap, it will be JV at home Thursday, 5:31 game.
Yes.
And then freshmen at Grand Prairie High School, not to go for Warrior Bowl.
So they will, because it's on their campus, they'll play in the Go for Warrior
Okay.
Bowl. Yes.
Oh, okay. And that's at 5:31 game only, correct?
That is correct.
And be sure to check Sports U and the website for all the latest ticket information.
That's right.
Well, Coach,
a lot of smarter people are running that than I am. So that stuff will be right.
I got you for sure. Well, what else is going on? What else would you like to add in discussion before we get to where we're going to sign off today?
Couple of things. First, on Tuesday night or Tuesday afternoon, our tennis team is actually starting first round of the playoffs against Richardson. And that's here. We're hosting here at Lamar High School starting at 3:00. So if we can pack those stands, let's pack those stands and support all the Vikes. Very, very excited to watch them compete. Secondly, we've made the call for Gatorades and people have been crushing it. And so I wanted to kind of throw that back out there again. If you ever want to contribute to the Lamar program, one of the things you can do is you can donate a case of Gatorade. And anytime you want to bring that up here, we're up here. It feels like all day, every day. So you can just go to the training room and let them know that you're dropping off the case and donating to Lamar football. That'd be fantastic. And then the last thing, my niece watches this show all the time, and she's like, Uncle Billy, are you going to shout me out finally? And so I've got to give a shout out to my niece, Emery, who is in Granite Shoals, and she watches the show every week. So hi, Emery. I'm glad you're watching. Love you.
Well, and hi, Emery, from Bill. So Bill and Billy, but anyway, Uncle Billy means a lot more to you, I'm sure, but hi, Emery, to you also. And we do want to thank everyone that I know. People actually, I have a friend in Canada that watches this show every week.
Wow.
So we have an international audience, Coach.
Very cool. Very
yeah.
cool.
Well, I'm glad you help us be aware of some of the other athletic programs, teams that are playing or in the playoffs. You've told us about volleyball in the past when they've had a game, tennis playoffs. That's going to be so cool. And you said Tuesday, is that correct?
Tuesday, that's correct.
All right. Well, hopefully we can get a bunch of people in the stands for that as well. And, it's so wild. I've lived in Arlington for 28 years. And it's just kind of amazing all the different athletic programs that have had so much kind of success, maybe not all in the same year, but it's just, wow, volleyball's in the playoffs and now tennis is in the playoffs. It's just so fun to watch.
It's very neat. And then you go outside of the athletic program, and then you look at like our band, they were at a contest this weekend, and I think they ended up finishing fourth, I believe. And they have their UIL contest on Tuesday as well. So a lot of great stuff happening, a lot of great programs here led by phenomenal people. It's a special place. It really is. And it's really cool that we have so many kids who do a lot of different things. So, anytime I can plug those different sports and different activities, I'm absolutely going to do that.
Well, definitely so. And again, so much thanks to the Booster Club, everything that they do, the endless hours, and it's just so good to every so often see new people stepping up, because there's that old saying, a few do a lot, but the more people that get involved, not everyone has to do quite as much overall. And it's not just about donations of money and Gatorade, which are great, but it's time, it's serving in those concession stands, just providing all the support and other stuff.
It goes a long way, and it goes a long way for our kids. I know they appreciate it when they look up and they see that their mom's helping, and they get that pride. So no, it's absolutely one of those things that's completely appreciated.
Definitely so. Well, I think it's a little bit shorter show, not just because I'm on vacation, but I think we covered everything we needed to. I'll meet you at the airport in a little while, Coach, to come down to Florida. But until next week, this is Bill Frawley with head coach Billy Skinner saying VFND.
VFND.